we're playing the Red Writ this week.
The shit show.
Yep. The cast is Bill, Andrea, Daniel, me, and Ken Howl. Thanks to all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt for the music. Our Patreons are Daniel Hulker, Tim Roberts, Nostalgic, and our new one, Natalia Cline. We'd also like to thank Couchfire Media for all the nice visuals and everything. To Replay Production.
With no errors.
Yeah.
No errors.
To Replay Productions, we'd like to thank them as well for everything else. And we have our sponsor.
I yield the balance of my time to the rest of the game.
Yeah, but the thing was funny. Who's our sponsor tonight?
Our sponsor is prosopagnosia, the inability to recognize faces. If you have it, you can't really... I mean, you can see faces, but you can't really distinguish them.
I mean, you got to do the show night after night after night, man. The new group. I do 1,000 people. And you don't know what any of them look like. We have a second sponsor tonight. It's Deja fucking Vu.
Yeah.
Indeed. I don't remember what I am and who I am.
We've got a third sponsor, and that is thank you to whoever it was that told us the sound was wrong.
Oh, Rodney. Rodney, ABC
Rodney.
123.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you,
Because that would have been extraordinarily tragic if we went through the fucking game and no one fucking told us.
Yeah.
Just beautiful music, though, of us being like, jerking each other off for 2 hours. Fuck. Anyway, I need more bourbon. Okay, so we're playing DreadLore. DreadLore is a tabletop role-playing game. If you want to check it out, the digital version is free. It is pinned on the Twitch. If you want to check it out, you can go to dreadlore.com, and all of the links are there. Also, on our Twitch thing, there's the fucking... Dude, there's links on the Twitch. Go fucking find them. Go find them. You can get a nice, sexy hardback if you want. If you want to jump on our Patreon to help all of us get better equipment and all the good, we would appreciate it. Super tons, etc. Very soon, we're going to have a coffee, Kofi, that you can tip in the event you want to do that. Yes, so let's introduce the cast real quick, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the game, get you up to speed, and then we'll fucking play. Oh God, we'll play. Hey, going first will be Ken. Tell a little bit about yourself, your character, and who the fuck your character is, what they're doing.
That's a good question. I don't think my character really knows what they're doing, but they're supposedly a journalist that is a drug addict, and I have the wrong headphones on, so I hear myself 2 seconds late. Yeah, Nord Zetterberg. My name is Ken, and I play a character called Nord Zetterberg. Nord is a drug addict. He's done a lot of drugs. He's really high. He thinks that there's this conspiracy or potentially monsters or demons that are trying to take over the world. And he knows the world is round, but Magica is real. Or fake. He wants to prove it.
But it is real, though. It is real.
We'll go with Hulker.
I play Tony Czerniak, the character who is a former aspiring priest, now a border guard, but not for too much longer after what's been going down recently.
What's he doing right now?
shivering in the cold, and probably making sure his gun is still loaded.
And we'll hit up Drizzle.
I am Simon Vincent, a hard-boiled detective.
So you say.
Yep, trying to figure out for sure what in the world's going on and whether or not it is real or fake, or Nord dosed me with something, which is probably what really happened. Currently, I'm looking through the ice of the lake and notice that there is a light down there and something moving around under the ice.
And we'll hit up Andrea.
Hi, I am Andrea Elliott-Johnson. I also play Leah Mizrahi, who is a former IDF soldier and a Mossad agent. She is currently, I suppose she is cleaning up after herself after having blown the head off of Mr. DuPont in very spectacular fashion.
All right. We also have an NPC, a non-player character with us who's been with us the whole time. Andrea, would you like to talk about her?
Yeah, she is my daughter, Mariah Mizrahi. She is she's 14, going on 30 something.
No, she's still 11. We just age her.
Oh. Fair. Yeah, she is
She's 11 or 12.
She's had to deal with a lot as a kid. Probably assuming they survive this, she's probably going to have to go to years of therapy. So is her mom. So it's it's fine. Good parenting on Leah's part. She's an awesome parent. Aiding into the delinquency and and turning her child into a child soldier. What could go wrong?
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the game and the setting. Drizzle, I'm going to pick on you. What is the setting about?
It is set in 1982 Detroit, and a whole bunch of weird things are going on. The weather has been acting crazy the past few days. A lot of the seedy underbelly of the city is starting to show itself. There's a bunch of different factions that we have run across, like the Hands of Blue guys, which are detectives who may be sort of protectors of reality or may not. Then you have Lady Callie, who is leading a group, and they are trying to bring back the Dark Dreamer and the Unwilling, which there's a lot of people who are marked who can become unwilling. There's some sort of faction of vampires in the sewers, or creatures that are like vampires, which we haven't delved a lot with them. There's also a nice little restaurant called The Fancy.
A fancy diner you guys abandoned. And you guys find yourself, so I've already said all this, but we're gonna say it again. Just to nail it. Just fucking get it in there. So, you find yourself on Bell Island. This is next to Lake St. Clair, this big old lake. Across the border is Canada. Good old Canada. Anyway, you're on Bell Island. Thick canopy of trees is above you. Think Fangorn Forest. This bitch is thick, all right? Tall ass trees, 30, 50 feet tall. You all find yourselves in this large, around this large man-made lake, or pond, we'll call it. It's about the size of a football field or so. The trees build a canopy over top of it. You all just came out of the forest, hauling this ttrpg cooler for the audience. Ttrpg is a kind of pseudoscience. Think of steampunk tech. This is something that they just found. And apparently when exposed to air or water, it flash freezes. So of course the party uses this to disrupt ritual, or part of the ritual that they trance in upon. Why are they doing this? Well, they have found a group of people seemingly led by Lady K, Lady Callie, and they're attempting, as Drizzle said, to raise perhaps the Dark Dreamer, to awaken her. Who knows? There's a lot of lore and myth and everybody's confused by it. So they'll probably find out at some point. Hint, hint, maybe you all should talk about it. There's other factions. One is the detectives. The detectives seem to be, think of like the X-Files. They're protecting this realm, perhaps. Are they good? Are they bad? If you think of the Umbrella Academy, the assassins, you're kind of on the right vein as to who these people are. At any rate. No, that's a dog coughing. That sounds like an old man. Regardless, that is where you are. That's where we're going to start. Leah, you have just shot a man who's been frozen from the neck down. You have shot him in the face. He is dead. As you realize, he is not who you thought he was. This is not Mr. Butte. He's not beautiful anymore. This is the ride. Somebody? Nothing? Really? You're gonna leave me hanging? He's dead. Your magics don't work here, Ken. They don't work here anymore. Maybe they do. You have to concentrate on your angst to make that occur.
Yeah, he's super.
All right, I'm gonna need a
dead.
lot more energy from you all. Okay, I want some cheering. I want some backup. I need some bass. Okay, something. That's pretty good. Crickets. Crickets. This big, intense fucking scene. I'm just gonna describe it the way it is. Nord, you find yourself like looking at your phone, you know, or your calculator. It's 1982. Drizzle, you're sort of staring off. You know, Simon's staring off into space like this. You know, paying attention, but it's out here. Leah has somehow produced a pair of like gloves, and she's like fucking crocheting in the corner with blood all over. And what the fuck's your name? Tony. Tony, you're sitting there, you know, standing there looking at a fucking tree.
Hey,
Give me something, motherfuckers! Oh my god!
I don't know what happened because last scene I got hugged by no one.
yeah.
Nord, you didn't
Nord
mention that, Nord. Nord, you didn't fucking mention that.
I was getting to that. Nord was plagued with a number of self realizations. Like he's probably struggling. Like, was he ever real? Is he real? Is he just air floating through the universe?
But no one knows what you're talking about. What
The answer,
happened?
my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
right. Nord took
All
a
we are
potion.
is dust in the wind.
All right. Anyways, I'm
gonna
pretty
drink
much.
more. Jesus fucking Christ.
I am kind of beside myself because I just shot someone who was trying to get out of the water and grabbed me.
Rodney says someone needs a hug. Rodney, are you referring to whom? To whom?
I think you need a hug, Bill. And I think that for this episode, Andrea should mute her mic.
It's gonna be called Bill Needs a Hug. And Andrea mouth breathing. Everybody else is like,
I'm not mouth breathing. I'm breathing through my nose. I'm just having trouble catching my breath tonight. Okay, fight me.
Fair enough. See, that's what I'm talking about. I want some kickback here. I want some kickback. Good. Nord, why are you invisible?
Nord created a potion on the beach, sort of last minute, they walked into the island through the woods and stuff like that. He thought that maybe he'd give it to Mariah, but then maybe that was a bad idea because you're not supposed to drug children. Not supposed to give children cocaine. So he like, I don't know, got fed up with taking the piss out of this creature vampire and said fuck all this and parkoured off the side of a cliff.
He did actually Sailorman dive
and into the pitch black void of evergreen trees on the side of the mountain. Realizing the error of his ways after hitting a tree or two, he kind of stopped and took a moment and decided that the world was just really too much and he was just going to turn invisible. He'd probably be better off that way.
Into the pitch black void of evergreen trees. I love it. It's a quote going in the book. Yeah, and so they had tamed a vampire named William Tibbets, who's really just a dick. And he has gone crazy, this character. They realized that Tibbets, he's feral, and Nord uses some reverse psychology and his Nord sense, which should become a trait, I think, or an ability perhaps.
Right.
Like Odin. What is it? Odin sense. What do they call it? Odin time. Oh God, the Odin time. It's in the first Thor movie. The Odin clock. It's really dumb.
It's the Odin throne. I don't know. We could look that up. But...
Nord sense is way better though, because it sounds like nonsense. Get it?
Yeah. No, Nord sense is wonderful.
It is a
great
trait.
That's
it's a trait. Good. At any rate, using Nord sense, great Nord sense. Nord convinced William Tibbets, this feral fucking vampire creature person, to help you. And he's vain and machismo and all these characteristics. After Nord goes sailing into the pitch black void of evergreen trees, invisibly, and Tony for some reason follows him, and abominable snowman's down. Who is left but Simon and Leah with this William Tibbets, and Leah masterfully manipulates him. She uses her. It's Mossad, right? That's what Leah was.
Yes.
She uses her training as a Mossad spy and assassin to manipulate William into picking up the Thergic Kula, racing down the hill, the path, and exploding it into the acolytes, which is what happened. The dust and ice have cleared. The 12, I think it's 12, yeah. The 12 acolytes, all in robes. I'm sorry, their robes are furs. And think of True Detective, the first season, like deer pelts and antlers and shit. And they all have these cudgels and whatnot. They're all frozen. You've seen, as you walk up, a few of you, that maybe a few of them are alive. They could be saved, perhaps, but they're frozen solid in this ice. They're not going to be alive for long. Seeing this, Leah, seeing way across the way, where Lady Callie was, she's gone. Her right-hand person is stuck from the neck down in ice, calling out for help. She shoots this guy in the face. Mr. Butte, who's not beautiful again. The joke didn't land that time, did it? That's pretty good. Although apparently Leah, you guys didn't hear it because we were muted. Leah thought it was DuPont. Is that what was going on?
I guess I'm kind of confused. So was it Mr. DuPont? I'm confused as to who
It
it
was
actually was
DuPont.
now.
It was
Yeah.
DuPont.
Yeah, I thought it.
Yeah, you've actually never met Mr. Butte.
I think Nord met him once.
You may have met him in
Yeah,
the Blue
bar.
Note.
Yeah.
Yeah. At any rate, he's probably a bad guy. Probably.
I mean, if he's
right?
here, he's a bad guy.
Right.
I mean,
he is.
This is.
All guys are bad.
He's directly next to Lady Callie, who's not a guy. Yeah, that's where you are. The lake is frozen solid. Leah, you've moved all the way over to where Mr. DuPont's corpse is, encased in ice, still standing, arms raised. He's in this fucked up position. His right hand is up, pointing two fingers, like so, like a finger gun. And the other hand is down to the left. You can bid or throw down to know what it means. As we are in the montage, I will say, if you bid or throw down, we go into the dread. Which is fine, but I just wanted to make sure you know that. Next to you, you see this sort of grate and a burned into the ground sigil. I can speak English. Yeah. So there's that as well. This weird fucked up sigil that's burned into the ground. And that's where Lady Callie was standing. The rest of you, you're at various places around the pool. I believe Nord is digging Tony out of the snow, although Nord is completely invisible.
I think Nord.
Who's like digging me out of the snow?
I ran to the where Lady Callie was at the end of the last.
Oh, is it
episode.
Tony who's digging him out of the snow? Well, no, Nord, you definitely invisibly accosted Tony.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then I got up immediately after that and ran to where Lady Callie was.
Okay, so you're on your way over there. Cool. Tony and Simon, what are you doing? This is montage. It's all on you guys.
Because I was over at the side of the lake looking down, and that's when I saw the lights under and something moving down there, and I yelled to the group, there's something big moving under the water. There's a light down here. I wonder if there's another temper down there. We can access to that one.
I took a shot at it. Whatever it was. And by the way, I still look like an extra from Wild Will's Buffalo Bill's Wild West show.
Tony says.
So,
You got like branches and shit sticking out.
Oh yeah.
Action's on you guys.
are you okay, Tony?
Yeah, I'm okay, but apparently I can't see well because I could have sworn Nord was like right behind me. I never saw him.
You think you can?
Cutscene to people, to many of people being interviewed. I thought I felt him. I could have sworn he was right behind me. Nord Sutterberg. Continue.
I'm going to head over to that temple. Do you need assistance getting over there, or are you okay?
Oh no, you don't. I don't need assistance. I'm gonna follow you.
Okay. And I'll start to head over towards the temple.
All right. Action's all on you guys. You get to where you want to be. What are you doing?
I'm going to look and see. I'm going to go into the temple and start looking around to see if there's a way down or something hidden in here, because I think they're connected.
Do you tell anyone this?
Underground or above ground?
The temple's above ground.
Is it?
Yeah. There's, like I said, there was a light down there. I wonder if it's connected. Maybe Lady Callie came in here and went down to where that light is under the lake. It could be an underground cavern connected to this temple. So I'm going to see if I can find anything in this temple that'll do that. Could be like at the Butte's house where it all went underground.
Like actually underground.
And I'll start looking.
Actions on you all.
I'm taking a look at this, I guess, this rune. That was kind of left over where Lady Callie was, and investigating it. I don't think anybody's near me because I'm like a football field away. So do I need to bid to look at this thing and discover more about it? I think the last time I did bid something, and you said it was an Esperante, this runic symbol, that I didn't really know what it was. After I bid.
So before you bid, Leah is right there.
Oh,
The rune is in front of the temple.
Yeah, Leah, Simon, and you are all in the same space.
Oh, we are in the same space.
Yeah, the only one is, so think of an Olympic-sized pool, okay? Except with rounded corners and wider. So maybe like an Olympic-sized pool that has 5 or 6 lanes. Everybody got that? That's basically what the pond looked like. You guys came in at the right, or at the, we'll call it the south side of it. The temple, this small structure, is at the north side of it. Okay, so the long sides, where you have to walk down, and it looks like statues, 6 on each side, frozen statues of people who horrifically are kind of moving and screaming, and hear their dull screams in the ice as they're slowly freezing to death, by the way. As you walk by casually, that's the scene. Where are you guys? We'll describe that. This is montage, and then you can soft role play and do what you're doing. If you need to throw down, then we go into the.
What do you guys think?
Leah is over by Butte's body and sort of investigating him. She might, before I have to bid her throw down, she might start seeing if there's any like pockets or anything that she can look through that aren't completely frozen shut.
He's frozen from the neck down. And you hear what Nord says because he's walking up.
Do I have any?
Anyone? Bueller? Should we like try to interview some of these guys?
Yeah. Are they still? Are they talking?
I don't know. Let's check to see if anyone is still alive.
As you walk
Interview
by,
or interrogate?
as you walk by, it's pretty clear that at least some of them are.
Yeah.
They're frozen solid between like 3 to 6 inches of complete ice. So the system shock. A few of them you walk by, they look just dead. But there's a few that are like their eyeballs are moving and they're all black and shit. And yeah.
Oh, so they look dangerous, these guys.
Yeah, they're as I described them.
They're possessed. These guys are. You said they have black eyes that are like open.
No, they look like they've been flash frozen.
Oh, but they don't look rabid.
No, they look scared and and dangerous. They're acolytes. They're wearing fucked up, pagan shit. When I say pagan, by the way, I mean people against goodness and normalcy. Anybody.
You cut out on it. I didn't hear what all you said.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
Really? I said people against goodness and normalcy when I say pagan.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
Good.
Pagan. People against...
Yeah.
No one gets the reference.
I like pagans. No, I think goodness and normalcy is overrated. Absolutely.
I will yell out from the temple. Nord,
Yeah, Will, you need to learn to know your audience.
Nord, you probably won't get much out of them.
What if we
I
hold them
wanna
up to a
find-
fire?
I want to find Lady Callie. I thought I was. I think this is a transportation sigil, or runic transportation thing. If I might step in the middle and see what happens. Maybe it'll take me somewhere else, into a vortex, perhaps. Maybe a wormhole to another realm.
Mariah, who is standing nearby, looks up at you, Nord, and she goes, Nord, calm down. This isn't the Twilight Zone.
You just hear from the temple. Oh, shit.
Within the temple. So we call it a temple. It's pretty small. Dimensions wise, we're thinking like 50 feet across. It is rectangular, much longer than it is wide. As you walk into it, Simon, it's made of, it looks like a kind of stone. The same kind of stone that you saw the statues made of.
Right. I will have pulled out my gun and I'm going in slowly because I think Lady Callie ran in here is where she went.
Sure. As at this point, we'll drop into the dread because you guys are starting to affect fiction in a certain way. As you walk in slowly, Simon, a smell hits you. It's the smell of grass and leaves. Smells like a yard that's just been cut. As you look in here, it's very low light. It is nighttime. Remember, it's like 1:30 in the morning or so. Remember, outside there's an ambient blue light coming from the pool, and I believe there's fires like tiki torches lit around the pool as well. So there's some ambient light. Within here, you don't see any. Just very, very dark, very low light. Ground is littered with leaves and such. Smell of wood. Think of a wood shop. To the right, it looks like there's a long table of some sort with things you're uncertain sitting upon it. A little bit of a sweet smell. To the back, it looks like two kinds of crates, large, perhaps treasure chest-like crates. And to the left, immediately, there is a door. The door is shut. It's the kind of door that a gardener would fashion. Maybe from the wood around, like literally it looks like sort of just slates you could probably even look through if you had light. There is a lock on the door. No windows in here. It's quite stuffy, although it's kind of warm or insulated from the weather.
Is the lock like a padlock or is it a lock in the door?
It's a padlock.
Okay. I'm going to circle the room. I know that it's low light and I'm going to go slow so my eyes adjust, but I'm going to circle the room around the right and come back towards the door in that circle.
As you move past, it's very, very dark. You find yourself bumping into the table. It looks like there's stuff, maybe plates or something on with mounds of something. It's completely dark in here. You can't tell what's on there. As you move around, you kind of bump into two large trunks, perhaps. Maybe kicking them. Maybe they're made of plastic. And then you get to the far wall and back to the door.
Okay. I'm going to go back out and grab probably the closest tiki torch and bring it back in to do a better investigation. I was just checking to see if it doesn't look like Lady Callie is in the temple right now. There's a padlocked door, but I'm going to do a better investigation here in a minute.
As Simon's moving back towards, he rests one of the tiki torches up and goes back into the temple. What are the rest of you doing?
Leah, since we're already in the dread, Leah will go ahead and use I will use let's see, what do I want to use for this? I will use adaptable to figure out what symbol Mr. Butte is making with his hands.
Okay. Bidding adaptable, you don't need to throw down. You're sitting there thinking about it. You've seen this before. It is definitely a cult. It's very familiar. Specifically with adaptable, it seems like some sort of satanic symbol. In culture, you've seen it here and there. It's an ancient thing. You know that, you've seen it in various books and whatnot. You're not really sure what the name of it is, but it's generally like the kind of like demonology, satanic type stuff, or various demons or gods, as they've been called throughout history. He's enacting something that is literally part of a ritual. And it's usually associated with sacrificing. So for the chat and anyone who's listening, what the players bid definitely colors the information they get and what happens.
Do I see that as I'm walking back?
Yeah, the action is on all of you right now.
That looks like the pose of that statue. Is it
What, the statue we saw like back at the
no the one that's
near the cemetery?
The one that's been in the news, the Baphomet or something. And
You'll get a narrative point for literally naming who it is.
And I will go back into the
As Leah, having bid adaptable, that's still being active. When Simon says, basically aiding you, says Baphomet, you realize, you remember that in the news. You remember Nord and Simon actually in their conversation. Baphomet is known to for children's sacrifice and this kind of thing. Specifically a kind of goat-headed person that so there you go. You guys have seen this several times with this group. That said, it's also associated with freedom.
Don't need your input.
I would like
talking to my dog.
to bid my dirgy dirk and start heating it up and stick it in, not through a person, but stick it close to a mouth hole and create a little mouth hole for like one of the cultists to breathe, so I can talk to him for a second.
Okay. As Nord, you're moving around. Are you going to a random person that seems alive?
That seems alive, yeah. I'm gonna look around to see.
Okay. Okay. There are 12 people, so I'm gonna do a vicious thing. Roll a d12. At least one will be alive.
2.
All right. Holy shit! I literally had written down 2, but then I decided to recant. So there are 2 that are alive. Do you go left? Do you go right?
I'll go left.
All right. So you are on the. If you have the pool on the north side, that's where the temple is. You are on the west side of this. If anyone draws a rectangle that's tall, the bottom is south, the top is north. Nord is on the west. Tony is on the southwest. Everyone else is on the north. All right. Right about the middle of the pool, you find this person. What do you bid to stick him?
I'm gonna stick
And
him
not
with
stick
my
him.
dirk.
And somehow
Dirty dirk.
activate this thing and whatever.
Turgy dirk. To stick him.
Now, I will note, when you have used this dirk and it has had a property on it, Nord hasn't really activated it. It's been sort of self-activated. You're not entirely certain how it works.
True, I don't. Maybe it takes human flesh to start, but it seems like it gets hot when I stick it into something, so I'm gonna try sticking it into something.
It's real hot when you stick it in.
So that's what I do.
Something. All right, what do you bid?
I'm gonna pitch my the item itself.
Oh, you bid the dirty dirk.
Yeah.
All right, so you bid the dirty dirk, stabbing it deep into the icicle person. I don't know if you've ever stuck a knife into ice. You know, it's not
hard.
easy. As you're like, ah, shit, I kind of thought that would have a different, It doesn't just go right in. As you kind of chip away.
Yeah, I'm just chipping away at the head. I don't want them to be
you hear
ambulatory.
Yeah, you hear screaming and whimpering that's muffled from the inside.
I'm trying not to hurt this person. I'm trying not to hurt this person.
So you're telling me you're trying to put the bollocks dagger into the mouth hole?
I think you might have hurt this. Poor.
That's pretty good. I think.
Good.
I just
Very
need a little
good.
mouth hole. to stick it
Lord, Lord, what are you doing?
I don't want to kill this person. I feel responsible. I've It was my idea to throw this thing in the lake, and I think I just killed 10 people.
Yeah, well, join the club. What? Do you need any help?
Yeah. Help. There's another one.
The screaming continues. Nord, we're gonna have you throw down.
Okay, good.
The threshold here is, we're gonna say 2. Failure means they die of shock.
Oh shit.
Now, Poker, are you saying this to the levitating knife that is hitting the ice?
No, yeah,
You know
that's
what?
right.
Experience.
You know, Drizzle, you get a pip. Indeed. Tony, as you look up, you see a ball sack knife stabbing at someone's face as they scream claustrophobically into a sheet of ice as they are clearly asphyxiating and dying of hypothermia. Roll sanity. What'd you get, Nord?
Everyone or just
No, you're fucking crazy and invisible. You're fine. And high as balls. You're
3 successes.
okay. Jesus Christ, Tony. Why does this make sense? Apparently, this is nothing. What do you do, say, etc.? How does this make sense to your character?
Help the other one. I'm yelling, help the other one.
Because I hear Nord, and I put it together.
I need more than that.
Mhm.
I told them all that I was going to be invisible.
He did.
Well, you also spent an intimate moment
All right.
with him when he was invisible.
Yeah, we.
All right, so if I roll up, I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna be invisible for a while. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's cool. I guess you have seen some shit.
First of all, Nord. How
Help
did you
the
do
other
this?
one. Help the other one.
There's another one.
Yeah, there's another one. They're dying in here.
All right, fine. I take out my billy club
Okay.
and I'm not as not going to be as accurate or surgical.
You don't have to be with a belly club.
No.
You mute.
And I swing away.
All right. So, okay. Scene is Tony. You definitely get a trait for this. It needs to be something along the lines of you're not a doubting Thomas, you believer, just willing to go with it. I don't know what adjective we. Does the chat know? Rodney, do you have a good adjective? Something that you gain for being able to deal with what is happening. As you have 2 routes to go, you have 3 routes to get to the other person because they're on the other side of the pond. You can
have, I want to believe.
Dude, I want to believe is a great trait.
I also feel like True Believer would kind of particularly work with the fact that he used to be trying to be a priest. So one of the
Tony?
two would be good.
It's up to you, whichever one you want to take.
I'm going to call this trait I give in. It's real.
God. All right. So you have 3 routes you can go that I can think of. One is across the ice. That's the quickest. That's the most expeditious. You can go around the south side. You have around the north side. Now, you are equidistant. Around the north side takes you near the temple where Simon and Leah are. Around the south side takes you near or away from everyone and nearer to William Tibbets, who is frozen. You can go across. That is the quickest. It's obvious these people are dying and, time is of the essence. What do you do, Tony? 5 seconds.
I take my
5.
club and I beat one of the
3. You
one
gotta
of the
get there
thralls.
first.
Huh?
Oh, do you just beat any of them? Or do you
Yeah.
go into the one that's still alive?
Do I hear them screaming?
Yes.
Then I go to the one
And-
that's still alive.
All right, which route do you take? North side, south side, or straight across?
South side.
All right, so near William Tibbets and away from all of.
Yeah.
All right. And not the quickest route. Okay.
Nope.
Sounds good. We'll deal with that in a second. Nord, how many successes did you get?
I got 2.
Okay, that's Limbo. So the person's not going to be dead. They do not die of shock.
Mhm.
However, it is a yes but situation. You free them. You free an airway in time.
Mhm.
But there's a but. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4.
But it's
3.
been a
Anything
narrative
else?
point, and
Okay.
and they're just they are possessed.
Yeah, sure. Okay. As You stab in to this ice person sickle. Cut, cut, cut. As you actually do nick some of their flesh, you realize, Nord, being right up close and personal, they got the black eyes. As perhaps you thought, oh, they are possessed. As you see the runes alight and start melting the ice, as the ice around their head cracks, you do note
I'd like to spend.
you have weakened the structure around them.
Yeah.
But for a moment, they are still encased. As they go,
I would like to spend cunning and just shove the dirk through their mouth hole.
you don't need to spend cunning. It's still your turn.
Oh, I would like to shove the thing. If they're a monster, I'm just gonna push it through the.
Yeah, they're a monster. You spend a narrative point to make them a monster.
Yeah. I'm getting murdered.
All right, I like this. You're like, can they be a monster so that I can murder them? Yes. All right. I see no reason why you can't do this. However, it's way funnier if you roll really low. So roll damage.
Okay. And my.
So you need 4 damage to kill them.
Okay. It is a called shot. Because.
So you get a chaos die.
Yeah.
And that'll add damage.
I rolled a 4.
Oh. Well.
And then I rolled a 5.
Yeah, so that's an extra damage. And your Dirty Dirk, I think, gets a +2. So you got 7. And it's a called shot on the head. I think that's a +2 damage. If someone wants to look it up in the book, it's fine. It doesn't matter. They're very, very, very dead. Nord, tell us what happens.
Well, I'm sure that the
as you stab the occultist in the face,
starts to heat up, and they're making all their noises, and they are, and it heats up as he pushes it in like butter, and he just leaves it in and keeps pushing and pushing and pushing.
Sounds like popcorn.
Pierces the other side, and like black ichor runs out the back of the other side.
Jesus Christ! As their head fucking explodes. Nord, make a sanity roll. This isn't The Walking Dead, motherfucker. Walking Dead season 3. No, this is like Walking Dead season 1. Consequences.
2 successes.
All right. How does Nord describe to us how this doesn't send him into a panic?
He just killed 10 other people. Like,
I want a description, not an explanation.
I just killed 10 other people. I told this vampire to throw this icy box into the lake, thinking that they were all monsters. And I think he wanted this to be a monster so he wouldn't feel bad about it. Like, he's seen a number of monsters. Like, if he just killed 10 humans that weren't possessed, like, that would be problematic. But because this creature is clearly a monster, and Nord's seen a bunch of monsters, whether or not he's high or not, it is because it wasn't human.
Simon, Tony, and Leah, wherever she is, you hear Nord say exactly what he just said, referring to himself in the third person, explaining to no one, also he's invisible, as he wrenches the ball sack dagger, the dirty dirk from the refuse of the head that's there. If anyone doesn't know what the ball sack dagger is, Andrea, could you explain while I go get water? Keep it going until I get back. I'll be right back.
So in short, the dirks are a derivative of a knife that is referred to as the Bollock's dagger because they originally had basically things that look like testicles near the hilt of the dagger. So yeah, it's a tradition. I'm fairly certain it was intentional, and as to why, I mean,
it's a gentleman's weapon, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you were
Yes.
if you were a noble person, you always had a dirk when you went out, because I think back in the day, society wasn't quite so friendly, and so there's any number of reasons why a gentleman would need to be able to protect themselves on a whim.
Oh yeah.
I,
Well, and the Bollock's dagger is pretty. I
and it's
feel
ornate.
like
It's an ornate,
Yeah.
typically a very ornate. A wealthy person would have it.
yeah, and they're really. I mean, well, and really though, it would. I mean, yes, wealthy people would have had it, but it also would have been something that was like, affordable enough. Like obviously, like for instance, a commoner wouldn't be able to afford a sword necessarily, right? But a dirk's kind of like that in between sort of weapon, where it's longer than a normal knife, but it's not a sword size weapon, so it's not like
It's
super
like needle
duper expensive.
or
Yeah.
sting.
Yeah.
It also, the funny thing is the sheath for this particular dirgy dirk is
Mhm.
wrapped up in an umbrella. So he pulls out the, which is I think a funny.
So it's a very kind of it's kind of like makes you think of like turn of the century or like Victorian era like hidden weapons.
Yeah, very much so.
Well done. So Andrea, you get a pip. And
Ooh,
who
thank
else
you.
was involved in that?
Nord.
Anybody? Nord, you get a pip. As Nord, you
man.
pull this thing out. All right, action's on you all. We will get to you, Simon, eventually. I just want them to do something.
I gotta drop the load. I guess I have 2 advancements now then.
Nord, you have.
Are we still?
Go on, sorry.
Are we still in the montage?
No, you're very much in the dread.
Well, fine then. Never mind. I guess I'll say this later.
No, dropping the
later.
load you can do anytime. Dropping the load you can do anytime. Yeah, that's
okay.
the difference.
Go ahead.
So game mechanics, montage is when you can advance. Dropping the load anytime. That's the benefit of dropping the load.
Okay, so an advancement. So dropping the load is kind of like using advancement, but you can do it at any time.
No.
Correct? Well, it's close.
Yeah.
It's just that dropping the load, you can only gain traits.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So you can only gain traits. Traits are the most important thing, and you can do it any time. Advancement, you can gain anything that is gainable. You just have to do it during a montage.
Gotcha.
What were you saying, Nord?
I was trying to think of what to do next after I murdered this evil creature.
Tony, you get over to this other person. Simon, will you roll me a D12? And Tony, will you tell me high or low? We'll see if the amount of time was too long.
It is low.
As you get there, Tony, wailing away on this thing, you break the person out as they lurch forward onto you, dead.
So, Will, I just want to make sure this works for you. Would the trait occultist work? Because I feel like at this point we're kind of like learning enough to be occultists in our own right.
Yeah, sure. You have learned some good stuff. Tony, this person, however, as they die, it's their last moment. Let's find out what kind of person they are. Let's do a fate roll. Who wants to be fortune? Who wants to be false fortune?
I'll be fortune.
Who's false?
I guess I'll be false.
right, I'm going to ask some questions of Andrew. Is this person learned?
Item. Ooh, that's hard. Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. Give me a profession.
I'm gonna say dentist.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Roll the fate. Oh, I have to tell you the stakes. So, fate roll. Wait, who's fortune?
I'm fortunate.
Okay. So, fortune. Tony, you will find out information from this person. And not only that, but they will be a person that is repenting. Or willing to repent, I should say. And you will somehow, with your priest sense, I need a different word, priest eyeballs, will realize
balls.
that. Priest balls. I tried to make it good. I bid my priest balls.
Well, they're blue, you know. So
Oh my god, that's a good. All right, fine, you get a pip. Tony, you can take a trait, priest balls, or you can take a flaw, blue balls, if you want. Whatever you want to do with that, you can do with that. Anyway, Jesus. So, fortune, with your intuition, realize that they would repent. False fortune, they are possessed, and right before they die, likely try to either curse you or kill you. Roll.
roll the beats. Oh, nice. Nice. This is the best roll I've had all night.
62.
8.
All right. Tony, you see this 50-some-odd-year-old dentist. You can tell they're a dentist because they just got off work and they're wearing their dentist shit. She has her name tag on. By the way, I get all of my shit from npcgenerator.com, which is the bomb. Brangian Drake is her name. It's pretty much an NPC generator for Dungeons and Dragons. She's got cropped, straight, dyed pink hair and gray eyes that are dying right now. She's got rough red skin, probably an outdoors person. She's likely Canadian. She's fat, which is fine because she wears it well. She has a typical face, 2 piercings on her right cheek. This chick is into some shit
Especially for the 80s.
in the early 80s. Wow.
It's wild.
Wow, D&D. She... It's unfortunate
Holds
she's
nothing
about
back.
to die. It's unfortunate she's about to die because she sees insults as an art. And she's like... I can't say that on Twitch.
She's a sardonic game show host.
That's right. That's right. It's my type. She looks up at you, Tony. Her eyes flutter. Her gray eyes flutter. And she says, "You look like a bitch." She's very good at keeping secrets, apparently. Not today. She will always prioritize the needs of other people, even to her detriment. That makes her very loyal. So the threshold will be high on this if you want to extract the information. As she looks up at you, you can tell she's just wounded. She's also dying. In her last moments, she maybe realizes, Tony, all this acolyte business wasn't worth it. But, you know, she says, You look like a bitch. coughing blood.
You look like you're dying.
What do you do? Action's on you.
I say, how did you get here?
What do you bid? To interrogate her.
I am gonna bid. I'm gonna bid gossip at heart.
As you say that, how do you fold gossip at heart into it?
I say, you can tell me your head won't explode.
I like the callback. As she kind of like, you see a grimace, like, as you realize she may have actually seen what Nord did. As you realize maybe she thinks you guys are here just to execute them in terrible ways. As she goes, well, I got here like everyone else from the boat, but I guess it was a lot of life decisions.
Why
I mean,
though?
they said we'd live forever.
Who said?
Well, Lady Kylie said if you give, all you can, if you're willing to do, as you see like tears beating up in her eyes, unspeakable things. You see her like choking up. Then the Dark Dreamer would awaken you. You'd be one of the awakened. You live forever. And praise Levos in her song.
Levos?
She looks up at you. Levos.
Who the hell's that?
All right, so your time is running out, or I should say hers is. You see her cursing under her breath, trying to struggle against the ice to no end.
I can help you.
Nord.
And so I take my club and I beat it against the ice.
Oh, I was... Sorry. Didn't understand you there for a second. Just sit there and beat it. Well... Take a moment. Okay, as you start beating the ice, pretty simple. You're not using a dirgy dirk. It's no big deal. As you beat her out of the ice, in that time, as you see her death rattle, and she is dying. Last moment on you.
I realize this, and I'm feeling very sacramental.
No. Yep.
So I begin the last rites, or at least some poor imitation of it.
What do you bid?
I bid priest.
Describe it.
I realize what's happening, and I sit down, kneel down, and I start saying a few things to try and comfort her. But when I feel like she's can no longer hear me, I get up and try and find where Nord is, because damn, that's cool. I want to be able to do that.
As you do this, roll me a D100. We'll use a homebrew rule from Punksicle and Moses Cadillac, or Jeffrey McNeil, who was on the Geeky Gamer podcast not too long ago. If in the event you want to check out the Geeky Gamer podcast.
45.
Nord, you hear this. And what happens exactly? It happens exactly as Tony described it. Tony, she dies. There's a look of peace on her face. Although death is not a pretty thing. As you find yourself getting up and not running, but moving away from this corpse, knowing full what that is. Bringing down the mood. Leah, you're over near the sigil. What's up?
Leah, actually, I'm gonna take advantage of my new trait. I am going to bid a cultist to see if I have seen this symbol before. I'm thinking maybe while I was perusing through Oleander's bookstore, while we were sort of pretending to be buying something.
Wait, that was a whole different world ago, though. Oleander was in Richmond Bay. It was Grimwald.
Fuck, you're right. Shit. Oh, no. Damn it, you're right.
Same book.
Grimwald. Yeah. That guy. They kind of, and I mean, other than the fact that Grimwald is kind of like, psychotic, they're kind of similar, really.
Oleander is actually psychotic too, but.
Drizzle will give you a pip for that. Oh, by the way, Andrea, the chat gave you a narrative point last game that we pre-recorded.
Gotcha.
Yep, so you do have that.
Should I add that to, since it was into space, should I add that to my into space sheet?
It is up to you.
Yeah, I'll add it to my into space sheet, just because I don't use narrative points that much anyway.
Escape. Escape is what it says. It means escape. Esperanto. Vi parolas Esperanton?
Nai.
Mi parolas Esperanton malbone.
Plui malbone. Me too. How do you say me too? So we're speaking Esperanto. Hashtag. Oh, yeah. That's literally, yeah. Esperanto is language of the occult, but it's also the language of Guo, the language of DreadLore. Anyway, you should check it out.
Estas malbone. Mi ne havas. Yeah, I don't know.
Nie znаю. Scias. Ni scias. Anyway, whatever. Sorry. Right. You see escape. You know that it is the word for escape. Perusing through Grimwald's bookstore. Perhaps you saw some notes of his in the book that Nord was looking through. Calculations and such, and that word written in Roman letters. You're now seeing the actual symbol of it written in cuneiform, but you recognize it. There's usually some sort of component that goes along with it. It's not just saying it, you have to activate there's a cost. As you mull this over, Simon, you enter, quote unquote, the temple with your tiki torch.
And I will bid Cop to investigate the area.
Okay. Wide doorway to the left, the makeshift door with the lock. Straight ahead, you see two large coolers, like at a potluck. To the right, you see a fold-out table that has a bunch of plates of foods, like paper plates of food. There's some like aluminum tins and such. There's like a casserole, and it looks like it's been raided. There's still food on it, but it looks like they had a potluck in here.
Okay. The coolers ahead, they don't look like the cooler we tossed into the water, do they?
No, they look like normal coolers.
Just normal coolers.
Yeah, like tailgating coolers.
Okay. I will go up to one of the coolers, the cooler on the right, and stand back and use the other end of the tiki torch to kind of lift it up a little.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite shitty beer, Drizzle?
Favorite or not? Rolling Rock.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I love Rolling Rock.
Oh, we need to. Jesus. I need to give you like. Lord. Fucking experience for that shit. Yeah, you see Rolling Rock.
Not a Killian's, not a Red Stripe, not a Corona.
God, just the basic bitch fucking beers. Like, get
What
some
you
real
said?
beer, man.
You said favorite shitty beer.
It's a shitty beer.
Hey, it's
Rolling
not
Rock.
an MGD. It's not a Mick Ultra.
Truth. It's not a Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Do what now?
Oh my God. Oh, Rodney says it's PBR, so it's just PBR.
PBR.
That's what it is. Survey says. Survey, yeah. Indeed, Rodney, you open up the cooler and you see a bunch of tall boys.
Hey, I will head back towards the door and see if I can see through the open cracks without opening it.
You can. Looking through, you notice, it looks like a shed, like a tool shed. The smell of grease, since you're so close to the door. You see equipment for cutting back the foliage, clippers, a weed eater, the smell of gas, that kind of stuff. It's like a shed. As you realize, this temple, as you guys have designated it, it's not a temple at all. It's like a storeroom for this pool. You kind of smell some of the chemicals, like the Clorox, or the chlorine, I should say. That said, having bid cop, you're about to turn away. Maybe there's the feeling, I don't know how to describe that, perhaps you can, of what the fuck are we doing here? As you notice, there are two things lying on the ground in this room, in the shed. They're covered in plastic bags, black plastic bags. They look about the size of humans, as perhaps your stomach drops.
Okay, I'm going to take the tiki torch and kind of lean it up beside the door, and I'm going to get out my lockpick, and I will bid Street Smart and use my lockpick on the lock. and get it open. And
What do
as
you
I
bid?
open, Street Smart.
Oh, you street smart. Yep. As you.
Yeah. And I will open the door slowly, and I will grab the tiki torch again, and with the end of the tiki torch, I'm going to try to move the black plastic off the closest one to me to where I can see what it is.
As you enter the room, to the right, immediately you notice. So there's the equipment around and such, just like a grandpa's tool shed, or like the tool shed in a pool. And these two body-sized black bags with the imprint of bodies on them. To the right, you notice something strange as you walk forward and start to do this with the tiki torch. But just before you do, chalk and salt in swirling patterns all over the floor. And in the center, right at the head of both of these guys, these fucking corpses, a book. So there's two books. They're very thin, weird parchment. It looks like it's aged a couple hundred years. Very thin, maybe 10 pages each. Little almanac looking things. And they're opened up. There's a candle placed in the center of them that's been melted down, and it's almost like a seal. A ritual of some sort has happened here. You can smell the incense, the weird spice. There's no smell of death. Perhaps since you bid cop, since that's still active, if these are indeed dead people, maybe they haven't been dead that long. Maybe it's the cold. All right. Are you using the tiki torch to remove the plastic?
I know that I'm going to step back for a second and be like, Aaliyah, they've done some sort of ritual in here. I don't know if you know anything about it. You may want to come and look at this before I touch something.
Okay, fine, I can do that. I'll be in a second.
As we move out. All right, actions on you guys. This is going to be a quick montage. What are you guys doing? What are you accomplishing? Go.
Did I hear Simon say that?
Oh yeah, you guys hear it all. It's
All right.
It's dead quiet out here. It's think of like, you know, when you have the snow, you're in an enclosed
quiet.
space. Huh?
It's eerily quiet.
Yeah. Your voices kind of travel.
Yeah. I think they escaped. I'm just gonna say out loud. I think they ran away.
It certainly left a bunch of people behind.
Yeah.
Leah will sort of be in between being outside and inside the storage room. Now can I call in the airstrike?
Everybody's dead. Who are we gonna kill? I think we might be able to follow them and escape by this runic symbol over
We
here.
still know they have that little bunker underneath the house on the hill.
That's true. They seem to like that spot.
Leah, as you turn around, you realize you don't know where Nord is. You can't see him.
Wait. Where the hell are you, Nord?
Probably near the
Told you.
skull that blew up.
I can turn invisible. I am all powerful.
Leah will
I have the Nord sense.
Leah will look around and then just sort of turn back towards the storage room. Of course you fucking can. Anyway, I'm going to go see what Simon has going on.
And do we see Mariah anywhere?
Yeah, Mariah is at the door to Leah. She's looking around. Nord, really, where are you? I'm gonna find him as she sort of like walks around the temple to the left. Where are you?
Hey, Mariah, honey, use the backs of your hands, okay, please?
Oh. As she cocks her head at you. Okay. And is looking around doing this. You hear her in the distance. You hear, if you're actually invisible, you have to teach me.
I'll do my best.
Are you still in front of the body where the head exploded, or did you move over to the temple, Nord?
I haven't done much of anything. I would like to re-examine this escape rune. But first, I guess I think they're gone. Whatever it is. I think they're gone. I'm pretty sure that we stopped their plan. I could be wrong.
There are two things in this. There are two large-shaped things in this storage closet. I'm just saying out because I hear your voice from outside. So I'm.
Well, I'll go take a photo of those guys, Simon.
Callie doesn't seem like the type not to have some kind of backup plan or some sort of.
Are you gonna make their skulls explode afterwards too?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying there are some candles in books in front of them. I have not removed the tops.
Maybe
Hey.
grab that book.
Hey, Tony. What are your flaws?
My flaws.
Anything dealing with books?
No, with books, no.
Oh, well, now you do. You have a flaw. Come on, are you kidding me? You must
Bibliophile.
read it. Like reading
Avid
Rainbow.
reader.
Voracious reader, something.
Yeah.
Bibliophile, come on.
What is it?
Bibliophile.
Bibliophile. That's a good one.
epic.
That's a flaw.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I bid it. You hear that there's books that apparently have to do with the dead.
Hey, maybe I'll look at them. I'll look at the bodies. I'll open up the bags.
I'll take some photos. What's happening in there?
Simon, as you see Leah at the door, you feel a presence move past you, and hear tooling around with a camera and such, and the high squeal of the flash charging to date all of us.
True.
Tony starts moving this way. Action's on you guys. Simon, really the action is on you. What are you doing?
I am going to get out of their way.
Well,
I'm
nothing,
actually-
great.
Well, I was going to. Well, I wanted them to look at it before I did anything.
Look, I'm invisible. I'm invisible, guys. Isn't that wild? Invisible.
No,
I think
mean,
Lady
yes,
Callie
yes,
escaped. She disappeared into the void, into the ethereal. I think we should follow her.
I mean, yes, it's wild, but also we've seen monsters and stuff. So like, this is the least threatening wild I've seen all week. So good for you, Nord. Good for you.
If
on
you
you
can't
guys.
see it, it can't hurt you. Or it can hurt you if you can't see it.
Simon, you back out of the room. You hear them talking and such. You hear Nord talking from in the room, and he's not there.
I was going to get Leah or Maria and walk her out of there because it doesn't matter. It doesn't really. I was purposely trying not to say that there are bodies in these rooms, but everybody else is like, "Oh, I'll look at the bodies," and so I was gonna walk Mariah out, but it doesn't matter because there's 10 bodies outside, so it doesn't. Doesn't really matter. I mean,
as I love this, Simon, make a sanity roll.
Yeah.
Bodies everywhere. Bodies everywhere.
As Simon, you walk out of the storage room / temple. Nord's voice is, it's like he's in the room. And there's a point where it's just starting to disturb. Like, wait a minute. He cannot be invisible. Leah is perfectly fine with it. It's like you're a crazy person walking out of this room. As you search for Mariah, trying to shield her from some of the craziness, the dead bodies, as you look around, you kind of see her in the trees, holding her hands out, but backwards like her mom told her to do, waving them around like she's trying to find some invisible person. You know, she's in the forest out there. As you look and you see dead bodies everywhere, frozen grotesquely in their last actions. A couple of them have been beaten to death. One of them has had their head exploded. One has been shot in the face. As you look down and notice your own clothes and such, and see forest for the trees, and see you actually have blood on you that's dried on your leather jacket. There's some burn marks from the arson that you guys have caused. As you look down at your hands and see, you know, you haven't had a shower in a while, haven't slept in a while. Nothing fucking makes sense. As Tony rushes past you, murmuring about books. What'd you get? I see you rolled well.
Yeah. I used two proficiencies and 2 traits on my ninja gears and still only got 2 successes.
DJ No Fly says, "Don't slouch." Everybody sit up straight. DreadLore says, "Hydrate." You better hydrate. Do it. For the chat, you can do dread points. As you sit on the chat and as you interact, you get more and more. Doesn't cost you anything. But you can remind us to hydrate, to not slouch, to drink. You can highlight messages and all that kind of stuff. You can even gift the players resources, narrative points, and pips. It's all explained in the shit. DJ No Fly has 18,000 because he's a player. Although it costs way more for them. Anyway, you got 2 successes.
Yeah.
So normally for this kind of thing, the threshold would be fairly low, like a 1 or a 2. But Simon, this is something about Simon's core. What is Simon's plug?
That I was hired to save the girls. Or to save the girls.
So the Arbiter cannot evoke your normal traits. The Arbiter can evoke flaws. I don't think that's really necessary at this point. I think reminding Simon about his plug is warranted. And that's going to be the limbo. So you pass. Threshold 2.
Okay.
You've seen a lot of shit and have dealt with it. This is, granted, sometimes it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. The limbo here is the doubling down, however you want to do it. How does Simon deal with the fact of what is going?
Simon is sitting there and he's thinking about Gabby and all the photos he's seen, and is honestly afraid that the two bodies in there would be two more girls. He slowly walks up to Mariah and picks her up and just proceeds to hug her, bear hug, and hold her for a few minutes. She's probably kicking and that
At
sort
first.
of stuff, but
At first, yeah. But then she returns the embrace as she relaxes into your embrace. She is absolutely traumatized. And there's a moment of peace and real connection. Continue.
well, that's what. No conversation. It's just the emotion and the embrace there.
You find yourself, after a few moments, you hear the voices of your comrades in the distance. You find yourself maybe 80 feet into the forest. You see your tracks, her tracks as well. Tall trees, thick forest everywhere. Nestled in this winter wonderland, if you will. This dark forest. And an odd calm, a recentering that you have. Simon, you can somehow sense it's like the plug of a drain being pulled down below, in the earth, beneath the temple. It's hard to describe, but there's a sinking, maybe a breeze, and Mariah turns and just looks at you guys, share a glance. Did you feel that? I felt something.
Yeah, if it felt weird, we may need to get out of here. Stay close.
As she pops off by her, on her own 2 feet, and stays next to you. Drunken Bard Gaming says, "Hey yo, what's up, Drunken Bard?"
It says they raided us. What does that mean?
Did they raid us?
It says
raiding.
raided.
Raiding with a party of 4. What's up, guys? Thank you for the raids. The raids. Beware the raids. Actions on all of you.
Wait, Drizzle wanted to know what that meant.
Oh, the raids? Oh, it means that they came in force.
Oh, okay, so a group came in.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Drunken Bard
Okay.
Gaming and the rest of you, thank you for jumping in.
Yes, thank
They're
you.
about to They're about to
Thank
mess
you.
with something zombie bodies, as the rest of you have entered this storeroom / makeshift temple with the potluck and the coolers and the PBR on the side. And you
I'm
see
going for the
two
books.
body bags. 2 body bags with weird circles and salt runes written all around them. 2 books at each of the heads as Tony barrels past you, Nord, and Leah, and goes for one of the books.
Tony, god damn it. What are you doing?
Lord, you're muted.
I was gonna say, can I spend a narrative point to say that Tony didn't see me and maybe he trips over me?
Tony definitely doesn't see you because you're invisible.
I know. I'm just. That's why I wanted to say that.
Yeah. As Tony slams, you slam directly into, it seems like a body, Nord, as you get slammed into. Simon, will you roll me a D4? We'll see how much fucking damage Nord takes. As Tony rams, you take 2 damage. As Tony, unadulterated, slams into your back. You're not prepared for it. He's got his baton out. He gets you right in the floating rib.
Oh, ow.
Whoa. What are you doing there?
Itayo.
I'm just standing here. Look where you're going.
Look where I'm going. I'm going that way.
Yeah, well, don't walk on top of me. Jeez. I'm trying to take a photo of this body.
Well, you didn't tell me where you're standing.
Well, I shouldn't have to. Can't you see me? I'm invisible.
No, I can't. Anyways, oh, look at that. That looks nice. I'll pick it up.
What is
Leah will actually, when you try and do that, if I need to bid, I can, but Leah will reach out and grab your arm.
Definitely need a bid.
Okay. For this one, combat certified.
Describe it.
You'll see Leah, like, she almost won't even, like, register on her person as a deliberate action. She'll just, like, reflexively, as soon as he goes for a book, she'll reflexively reach out and just grab his arm full force.
Tony, you have been grabbed and stopped. Do you resist in some way?
Yes.
All right. What do you? All right. Throw down. Both of you. So you've got Braun and you've got Grace. Braun is to obviously resist through strength. Grace is to be all nimbly pimbly, as Fancher used to say.
So am I, when I'm doing them, can I use Braun or Grace or?
Yep.
Okay.
It's up to you. Remember, it's just like any other throwdown. You got your action, you got your aspect dice, you got your abilities, your proficiencies, etc., etc., etc.
all this fuss over some stupid books?
You hear Nord shout from nowhere. A feeling like something, the air has changed. It's slight. A slight breeze, perhaps, fills the room. Continue. What'd you guys get?
I got 1 success.
I got 2 successes.
As Leah wrenches your arm up behind your back and gets you in this weird hold, perhaps one you've seen, perhaps one you've even done against people on the border between, those surly Canadians, as she gets you in a little arm bar.
What are you doing?
I swear to Yahweh, if I need to burn all these books to keep your hands off them, I will.
All right, we get a pip, and let's roll a d100. If you get 100 or a 1, Yahweh hears.
Oh no!
That is a homebrew from Jeff McNeil, Tim Roberts, and Punk Sickle. Many, many moons ago.
That'd be an 18, so no.
All right, yeah. God, as usual, does not pay any attention.
I would like to bid Ranger I feel that the winds change, and I would like to bid my Ranger ability to kind of stop, taking photos of these bodies for a second and feel.
What are you trying to feel?
Well, you said that everything changed.
Do you want more information about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You bid that. Nord, as you drop the camera, or lower the camera, I should say, and just give yourself
for me
a
to
moment.
see the buttons anyway.
Right, in truth. As you give yourself a moment, it feels like a plug in a sink has been pulled. There's a draining sensation. Pressure. Like you're in a high pressure area, and there is a low pressure area that is sucking up something. There's a draft, but there's no wind. You can just feel it tingling around you. It's down below. It's beneath you. It's beneath the temple. It's under the ice. There's a darkness. And as you bid the Ranger, It's like when you're on the precipice of a cliff. Close your eyes. You can't see the chasm beneath you, but you know it's there, and you can almost feel the presence. In this chasm, this void is very large. A gate has been opened. Continue.
I think a gate has been opened, and we need to shut it. I think that there's a problem, guys. Anybody else feeling this? It's like somebody flushed the toilet. Like Lady Callie had a big deuce and fucking flushed that shit. And something's coming. It got backed up. Seriously.
Nort. Are you high again?
When am I not high? I've been high for fucking 3 days. I'm on a bender.
Nord.
I'm ready to go. let's do all the things at the same time. I want to do everything at the same time.
Nord, I have two questions to ask.
What?
Number one, where are you?
I am right here. I'm
Number
right
two.
here.
Number two. Since you're invisible, right? If you take a deuce, is that going to be visible?
I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be blue. I don't know why. I'm going to shit Drano or whatever that blue shit is that cleans your toilet.
Simon, you make it back to the pool where the statues of dead people are. You can see it. Go on.
Oh,
you can hear them.
I'm going to look towards the ice, and see if the light down there has gotten bigger, or if I can see more of movement down there.
Somehow, so the light is about the same. It's firelight that's refracted off the water and the ice, but you can see a circling motion. Slow, but there's a current in the water.
Oh, guys, there's a current in the lake out here. A sinkhole may have opened up underneath the lake. We probably need to get to the shore or up onto higher ground as quick as possible.
Are we we're in a shack? Shack.
Right, but yes, but if this sinkhole opens up, it could swallow, depending on how big the sinkhole is, it could swallow this whole area.
Okay.
I've heard of sinkholes easily taking out 3 or 4 corvettes.
Sounds good.
Did you say corvettes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're live on DreadLore Twitch.
Did you just make an Instagram post?
Yep.
You're such a social media whore. Whore.
Thanks, Rodney. You got my joke.
I got the joke. It was pretty good.
Yeah, you did too.
Indeed. Rodney, thank you for jumping in, man, and actually engaging on the chat. Let's take a brief break.